Hi there, Titans, and welcome back to another Titan Academy video. Today we'll be comparing the tables in Titan Web. We will talk about why we would use each of these tables, some of the limitations of the tables, and we will explain what the best table to use would be. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is just do a quick high-level overview of some of the differences between the tables, and I've just prepared a small table view here of what the differences are between these tables. And we can see that we have three different tables in Titan Web: the power table, the table view, and the list view. Now, all three of these tables can read data from Salesforce, but you can see that there are some other limitations for our table view and our list view tables. For example, on-click actions we can do in power tables and table view, but not in list view. We have many column types such as buttons, icons, input fields, and more for power table, but for our other tables we can only just view fields from Salesforce. We can edit from within the table in a power table, either using inline edit or quick edit to do bulk edits, but we cannot edit the table in table view or in list view. In power table, we can filter down our records from within the table as well as table view, and we can't really do this in list view, at least not with the standard interactivity. Mobile capability, so we have a feature called card mode, which makes your table look better in mobile, and that is something currently only supported in our power table. And subcomponents, being able to drill down to records that are related to the row that you select on your table. For example, viewing the contacts under an account, that would be something that you could only do with a power table. All right, so in order to add a table to your project, you're just going to head over to the pink plus button and you're going to click on table here. And you'll see we have our three tables. We have our table view, our power table, and our list view. And I'm just going to begin with the most basic. So let's look at the list view quickly. And we can see that we can query records from Salesforce, either through an object or a report. I can decide how much I want to bring in, write a condition for which contacts I want to bring in, or any object. Again, this can be any standard, custom, managed package object. It does not matter. I can write a condition to decide what I'm bringing in, and I can map my fields. So for example, bring in first name, and I can name my column whatever I would like. Bring in last name and email, and of course we can change the name of the column as well. But we don't have much other functionality here. We can change the order of our columns, apply. That's about it. We also have limited interactivity here with what we can do. We can hide unload, allow selection, hide header, and do auto grow. And that's basically it for our list view. Now for our table view, we get a bit more functionality. Again, we can query any record we want, either an object or a report, write conditions to decide which records come back, and we can bring in fields from our record in the same way. Small difference here is we can also add actions, and we can do on-click actions over here. So if I wanted to click on the first name and include some kind of action here, I could click on the text or put an icon next to the text and run an action. And I can also run actions from buttons and icons using the on-click action over here. Of course, we can name our action such as email contact, and then have this button send an email. Now, interactivity, we get a bit more options here. We can show index, we have pagination here, search, grouping, filtering. These are things that we did not have on our list view, and summary row. Once we start talking about power table, we have many more options. We're not going to get into everything, but we will highlight some of the key differences, and then in the upcoming videos, we'll take a deeper dive into how to configure your power table. So again, we can query any object we want here. We could also do report. Something new or unique for power tables here is that we can also run a query from an apex that we have, and we'll be showing in a video how to do that as well. Again, we can write our conditions here, like all of our tables, and we can add in fields from the record, input fields, and we can decide what type of input field we want. We've got static fields, we've got icons, buttons, index of the row, so we have many field types here. And we can also configure actions on the actual fields themselves, as well as from these buttons or icons. We can have configure on-click action here, like that. And we also have the ability to allow edit, which is something that we did not have for our other tables. We're also not going to show this currently, but we can do subcomponents. So we can configure a table within a table or an iframe within a table, and we can drill down within the table to see multiple related records related to the row that you click on. We have a lot more robust functionality here with our power table. And if we look under interactivity, we can see as well many more options under interactivity, a lot of what we saw for the normal table view, but we also have things like card mode, the ability to freeze the header, quick update, which is another way of editing the power table in bulk. We have global filters as well as filters for the actual fields themselves. We can allow our end user to resize the column size here. And again, some other interactivity that we also had on our other tables. So as you can see here, far and away, the power table is the most powerful of our tables. In general, the only reason not to choose a power table when building your project is either if you're working in Form 2.0, which does not support the power table, and so you won't have the option of power table. But if you are in web, you mostly should be using power table unless you want your project maybe to be a little bit more, let's say, light and run a bit faster. The power table is a heavier element, and so in some cases, if you just need something very basic, maybe you would use a table or a list view, keep your project a bit lighter. But in general, in order to maximize functionality, the best table to be using is the power table. In the following videos, we will be going over how to configure the different interactivity and options that you can do with a power table, so stay tuned.